Do you love Hourglass Cosmetics? If you had to, could you name your favorite 5 products looking back over the years? What are my favorites? Well, you're going to find them out today with me, Rebecca. I am a 20-year plus veteran of fashion and beauty journalism. I have written for some of the biggest titles out there and worked with some of the biggest names in the industry. I have created a little space here on YouTube called Not Fit for Print Beauty to be kind of like a little beauty magazine that you can kind of figuratively flip through every day or so here on YouTube. I'm so happy to have you here. Okay, my 5 favorite Hourglass products. I'm going to do this a little differently than some other top 5s that you've seen. If I had to choose my favorite 5 Hourglass products, it would be kind of hard. So what I did was I chose my favorite 5 Hourglass products that are also my favorite in their category. Meaning that if I chose a lip product, it's not just my favorite from Hourglass, but it would be my favorite versus other brands in a similar category. If I chose a favorite foundation, it would also be my favorite foundation, not just from Hourglass, but even compared to other brands. So these are my top favorites in general across brands, but they all happen to be from Hourglass. I hope that makes sense. I am going to also be asking this question on our Facebook page. We have a free Facebook community page. All of that information is in the description bar below, so you can join us. That group is growing by leaps and bounds. Helen is running the heck out of it, but I make sure to pop in there too. And if you want more of me, heaven knows why you would, we do have an under $5 a month membership here on YouTube, and we have lives every Friday, and we have all sorts of fun over there. So check for all that information down below in the description bar. And before we get into it, let me just tell you that if your interest is piqued by any of these products or anything Hourglass, use the link below or go to hourglass.com. Anything you buy, if you put Rebecca, code Rebecca in at checkout, you will get 10% off your order, which, hey, nothing to sneeze at because Hourglass products are not cheap. So if you want 10% off, use code Rebecca at checkout. And let's get into my top 5 favorite Hourglass that are also favorites in general. Here we go. Okay, so please remember, we're doing this a little bit differently. These are not just my top 5 across the brand, but even really compared to a lot of other brands, okay? So I've put on a little bit of concealer, everything will be in the description bar, and a little bit of mascara and brows from other brands. I'm not just doing a full face of Hourglass, I'm doing a full face of Hourglass I love. Okay, so we are going to start with our Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. This is one of my favorite skin tints out there, period. Not just my favorite in Hourglass. Why do I love this? No scent, no sunscreen. I'm one of the people who does not enjoy an SPF messing with I can do my own skin care. Thank you. I find this just glowy enough without being greasy. The coverage is light without being non-existent. Lisa Eldridge, I'm looking at you. You guys know that. I'm running through it. This is already my second. I would wear this. I would say this is my favorite skin tint. I love the Surratt Dewdrop, but that's really considered a light foundation. But that would give it a run for its money in terms of something actually calling itself a skin tint and qualified as a skin tint. This is my favorite, not just in Hourglass. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. And it went on that quickly with a little bit of a color corrector underneath and nothing else. It is a light medium coverage. It is buildable. Yes, it is a little bit dewy. I actually like that in a skin tint. Yes, you can powder over it. Yes. Why did I not choose other Hourglass foundations? Because including the new powder, because I really like it, but there's others I like more from other brands. Might be my favorite within Hourglass, and I do like them, but not my favorite compared to other brands. Okay, let's The last one I'm going to do here, these are in no particular order. The reason I laugh is the last one I'm going to do here, there's going to be some rioting because when this came out, everybody hated it. Maybe you've guessed already. If you haven't guessed, what's the Hourglass product that I'm going to put in my top 5 favorites that people are not going to like? They're going to be shocked because they hated it. You have to think back quite a few seasons ago. Okay, let's look at some lips. Do you know that this Shape and Sculpt liner, $29. By the way, the Veil Hydrating Skin Tint was $49. But did you know that this Shape and Sculpt liner for $29 is probably my favorite lip liner out there? It is not too creamy. It is not too dry. It has you don't want it to be too creamy because then it doesn't stop your lipstick from bleeding. So you want it to have a little bit of wax to it, but you don't want it to pull on your lips. This one doesn't. This stays forever. This is an excellent lip liner. Not just an excellent Hourglass product, it's an excellent product. You see where I'm going with it. This shade is called Flaunt 2, and I'm just going to line with it. It's kind of a slightly darker nude shade because I'm going to put lipstick over it. I'll speed it up. Just line with it really quickly. I'm not saying it's a super exciting product. I'm just saying this is a reliable lip liner. You know what else I like by them? I like the satin too, but let me just call out the matte, the soft matte lipstick. Comes in 12 shades. $38 is also a bunch of satin shades, which I love too. This is the soft matte in the shade Tulip, I believe. Yes, it is. Not necessarily a perfect match with this lip liner, but the lip liner is going to be covered up. I just like to use a neutral one. Truly using it to line. Look how smooth this is. Doesn't get in lip lines. Doesn't bleed. Color remains constant. It's not transfer proof, doesn't promise to be. The only one that gives this one a bit of a run for its money, in my opinion, in terms of kind of a soft matte, is the Merit, which is also beautiful. But this is one of my favorite products from Hourglass, and just in general, in terms of a soft matte lipstick that's still nourishing, that's easy to wear, that doesn't create lines, lip lines and such. It's just a beautiful, reliable product, and also happens to be from Hourglass. Okay, we're going to get to eyes in a moment, but I want to talk about face palettes. Most of the face palettes, especially those big holiday releases, the $90 holiday releases, have come and gone, although a lot of them are full of repeats. We know how Hourglass does this. And what I tend to do is, I'm not a palette hopper. Like, I don't know about you guys. Will you get out? Tell me this down below, in fact. I'm not saying it's weird because a lot of people do this. Will you get out like 5 palettes in front of you and, you know, take an eyeshadow, take a blush, will you do that? I won't. Call it laziness, and I won't disagree with you. I like one palette in front of me. So if something has a repeat shade, I'm kind of okay with that because it has a repeat, but, you know, love the one you're with. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there's a few of these palettes, and I have almost all of them. There's a few that I really love, and I'm going with some of the holiday releases. I was torn. I'll tell you which one won. I was torn between the Elephant palette, which was released in 2022, and the Leopard, which was just this last holiday season, 2023 holiday. And this is the traditional Leopard. The reason I say that is that this past holiday season, Hourglass lets you put one in a different case. If you don't recall, this is what was supposed to be Leopard, and this was Elephant. I love these both dearly. There's some repeats. There's bronzers in both, highlight shades, blushes. But you know what won? Slightly Leopard won. But I do love Elephant too. So let's go ahead and use Leopard. Let me know down below if you picked up Leopard and if you picked it up in its original case. A lot of people wanted one of the different cases. The owl was real popular. Okay, let's go ahead into the bronzer here. And I'm just putting a Sonia G brush in it. And I'm just going to warm up my face. Oops, things are flying around. I just want to warm up my face a little bit. Just the perimeter. And this is not too dark of a bronze. If your skin tone is not the same as mine, I have kind of a neutral light medium. If your skin tone is not the same as mine, this might not be your favorite palette for nothing more than just the bronzer and highlighter and such. It does kind of pick its skin tone, doesn't it? So for me, I like this one. I like the Tiger though. That was the 2022, just very dark, because I know no limits in terms of how dark my bronzer and such is. So, okay, I just warmed up my face with that, and I'm really happy with it. Let's pick a blush, and we'll pick one of the blushes. How about this one right here? I'm gonna highlight a little bit. Got a powder to use. And then we're gonna get to the fifth of my favorites. Remember, these aren't in a particular order. I'm just gonna use one blush here. I could swirl and use two. Pardon me while I edit out a cough. Okay. Let's swirl a little bit, why not? Okay, it's coming together and we haven't even done the eyes yet. That's letting you know. That's a big hint, isn't it, as to what it is. Why did I not pick a lip gloss from Hourglass? I like their lip glosses a lot, but again, sing it if you know it, I wouldn't choose them over other products from other brands. These I would. Okay, let's pick a highlighter. Got another Sonia G brush here. I'm gonna go with this highlighter right here. It's pretty much our only choice for the most part in here. And I'll make it kind of blingy. I do like to wear this on my whole face, including my eyes. That is my favorite look to do with an Hourglass palette, is to just use it everywhere, but we won't today. Okay, so there we go. And there is our traditional Leopard palette in Leopard casing. Okay, eyes. I love Hourglass Unlocked Mascara. It is a great tubing mascara, and I love a great tubing mascara. But if it's placed with other browns, I would choose another brown, so I didn't make that my favorite. The Hourglass Voyeur eyeliner is a really good one, and it's really waterproof and won't budge. If you need to go all day and not have your eyeliner move, I highly recommend it. But, you know, on a day-to-day basis, if I don't need it to go 10 hours or 12 hours, I'll use something else. I admit that. I'll use something else. So I didn't put that in. I was trying to keep this to 5 products. But I'll tell you something I love. Oh, you guys are going to be so angry at me, but I just love it. I like their Curator eyeshadows. I know. Please listen to me. They're too expensive. The case is tinny. When I reviewed these, I said I loved them years ago, and everybody was upset with me. You got to click them in here. You can curate them. They run anywhere from like $102 to $163. You can pick 1, 2, 3. I think there's 5, and it comes with the case. This is what has given me hope. You know, every time an Hourglass release comes out, everyone's like, why doesn't Hourglass just let us curate our own palette? And I'm always the first one to say they did it with the Curator, as the name implies, with the Curator eyeshadows. And everyone's like, oh, those. There was such a backlash against this, and I have always loved them. Why? They're so boring, Rebecca. Why? Because they're smooth, they're gentle. The formula is Stop! Let me say, the formula is fantastic. I think they're smooth and buttery. They're creamy. They're blendable. I know, you're at home going, I'm telling you. They're lovely. These eyeshadows are so buttery, so creamy. So they don't fight you. They don't leave I don't care how clumsy you apply them. They don't leave any sort of like a shadow or a stain where you first put your brush down. Oh, I just love them. I just love them. Switch brushes here. Got a bunch of Sonia G brushes up here today. I mean, I love them. I do. I'm going to darken with this espresso shade here. I do. I love them. Go there with that. Oh, they're so easy to work with. What? I get the price is too high. There's no mirror. I get it. I curated this set myself. I did it myself. No, it's not just that I'm proud. They're simple. They're elegant. They're too expensive. But everything from Hourglass is too expensive. But for some reason, there was this like zeitgeist. There was this like thing in the air when these first came out that people were just in a fury about it. That video of mine did well, but I think because people were like rage commenting or something. Nobody was angry at me for liking them. I don't mean that. But I have just never seen such bile in my comment section, and I haven't seen it since. It actually was early on in my YouTube career, not in my editing career, but early on in my YouTube career, and I was surprised by it. I mean, they're way too expensive, you know, 102 to 163 for some eyeshadows. But people were like personally affronted by Hourglass, and I thought, the palettes are $90. I mean, you know, it's not like everything's so cheap. It's not like all of a sudden Elf had a $120 product. So I found it a little strange. Let me know down below if you were one of the people who, all due respect, I don't mean it negatively, was just incensed, that's a great word, by the release of these Curator eyeshadows. Tell me why, now that everything's cooled down. Trust me, I wouldn't have asked you at the time, because I was afraid the pitchforks and the, you know, they were going to tar and feather me. Although nobody was really upset with me. They were just really upset with Hourglass. Like the nerve! I mean, people were honestly livid. Do you guys remember this? So comment down below if you remember this, just because it's funny. And comment down below why you were livid. Now that you've had time to calm down about it, just let me know. This is one of my favorite Hourglass looks. I would have probably used the elephant or the leopard on the whole face, including the eyes. But I did have to get this in there. Because I am loud and proud, I confess, I love the Hourglass Curator eyeshadows. Hate me for it. I don't care. I love it. I'm coming out. I'm bringing it to the people is what I'm doing. So this is my favorite look. These are 5 favorite Hourglass products, but not just Hourglass. 5 favorite products from across the entire makeup industry that all happen to be Hourglass. Now it is your turn. This is what makes us a community. I would love to know what your thoughts are down below. Maybe give me your 5 favorite or your favorite Hourglass in general across all of cosmetics. Or maybe you're not a fan. And I need to hear that too. This is, you know, I love the dialogue. So definitely let me know. Please remember, you can use my links below to get to specific products. But if you do type in Rebecca at checkout, you get 10% off. And especially on those Curator eyeshadows, I guess, every 10% helps. But I am a huge fan of the brand, and I'm truly looking forward to what you guys have to say in comments. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.